Hello my dear students, this is the second lecture in the series of lectures of dental materials in conservative dentistry. So today we would like to see another cement called zinc phosphate cement, another very commonly used cement in dentistry in the underdeveloped countries and also in our country until 5 to 6 years ago. This was the most important luting cement and a cement used for temporary restorations in our country. So I remember in my college days as an intern, as a student, even our college used to use zinc phosphate as the primary luting cement, as a permanent luting cement for all crown prostheses. So let's come to the introduction of zinc phosphate cement. So it was introduced by Pierre in France in 1879 and very commonly used as a temporary restorative and a permanent luting cement. And the use has started to decline over these past 5 to 10 years since the advent of glass ionomers, and so many studies which have shown the film thickness of glass ionomer is comparatively lesser, as well as the strength offered by the glass ionomer luting cement is much higher as compared to the zinc phosphate cement. So the most commonly used zinc phosphate cement brands in our country and throughout the world is Harvard, and second is Shofu high bond zinc phosphate cement. It's classified as type 1 and type 2. Type 1 is a fine grained cement, type 2 is a medium grained cement. Now look at this very carefully. This comes as a multiple choice question. What can come as a multiple choice question? The film thickness of type 1 is 25 microns and the film thickness of type 2 is 40 microns. And the multiple choice question comes in the form of that type 2 represents fine grained, medium grained, both of the above, something like that. Okay. So type 1 is a luting consistency, type 2 is the restorative consistency. Powder. The powder is composed of zinc oxide, magnesium oxide. Zinc oxide is the main content. Now remember, in your Viva questions in first and second year, you would be asked zinc phosphate cement. So zinc phosphate, the first word represents the powder, second word represents the liquid. Zinc phosphate, the powder is zinc oxide, primary ingredient, and the liquid is phosphoric acid. So let's come to the powder. The powder contains zinc oxide, magnesium oxide, silicon dioxide, bismuth trioxide. Bismuth trioxide and bismuth oxide. Bismuth trioxide mostly is used as a used for creating radio opacity. Barium sulfate, even barium sulfate, very commonly used for creating radio opacity, and calcium hydroxide in traces. All these powders are taken together and put in a huge cauldron, and they are sintered. So once they are sintered, they come and agglomerate into one piece, and then they are broken down into the either type 1 or type 2 size particles, either fine grained or medium grained, depending on the use. The liquid is composed of phosphoric acid, 38.2%. Phosphoric acid is combined with aluminium and zinc also. Aluminium and zinc, remember, act as buffers. This is another multiple choice question which is very commonly used, which is commonly asked in the entrance exams. And water also is a very important constituent. Now remember, during manipulation of zinc phosphate cement, always dispense the powder first, the liquid later, because if the water content of the liquid changes, that changes the setting properties of the cement also. So let's look at the functions of the ingredient. Zinc oxide is the principal ingredient of the powder. Magnesium oxide, it reduces the temperature of the calcination process. Bismuth trioxide imparts lots of smoothness to the mix, and zinc and aluminium, as I told you, act as buffers. So two consistencies are most commonly seen, like I told you before, depending on the mode of use, type 1 and type 2, the fine grain and the medium grain. So the first consistency is called the luting consistency or inlay seating consistency, and the second one is the cement base or filling consistency. A third type of consistency is used for seating the orthodontic bands. Before the advent of or the common use of glass ionomer cement, zinc phosphate was very commonly used for luting of the orthodontic brackets. Setting time is 2.5 to 8 minutes at the body temperature. And strength is in 24 hours, it gains a maximum strength of 70 megapascals. And it has a great resistance to dissolution and disintegration. Now, as the powder is increased, remember the powder is increased in any cement, the strength of the cement also increases. But you have to know that the powder liquid ratio consistency is 1.4 gram is to 0.5 ml of liquid. So if the ratio is hampered in any way, it not only hampers the setting reaction, but it also hampers the consistency that would overall impact the kind of consistency that is obtained after manipulation, which can result in faster setting and lesser working time that could be available. So the pH is just 3 minutes after mixing goes to 4.2, so it's a very, very acidic cement. Remember, cavity varnishes were very commonly used prior to application of zinc phosphate as a base, and then on top of the zinc phosphate, after it set, silver amalgam was used, and it's a very effective thermal insulator. So let's look at the powder liquid ratio. Now Craig says the powder liquid ratio is approximately 2.5:1 for filling and 1.5:1, but Skinner Phillips mentions the powder liquid ratio, and it is very commonly assumed that the powder liquid ratio is 1.4 gram is to 0.5 ml. Please remember these things, student. Compressive strength is approximately 103.5 MPa, and what is very critical to remember is the setting time, that is 4 to 7 minutes, and the coefficient of thermal conductivity, that is 3.1 into 10 raised to minus 4 per degree Celsius. Now remember, a very commonly asked short answer question would be a frozen glass slab technique. Now remember, a cool glass slab and a stainless steel spatula is used for manipulation. Another very commonly asked Viva question is, which are the cements which require the glass slab and the stainless steel spatula for manipulation? So the answer would be, any zinc oxide containing cement requires the use of a cool glass slab and a stainless steel spatula. Zinc polycarboxylate, which is no longer used most places, and zinc silicophosphate, and another commonly used cements are zinc phosphate and zinc oxide eugenol. So remember these 4 cements, children. So each increment is mixed for, so the powder is dispensed and the powder is divided into various increments, small increments, and the first increment is mixed wherein the liquid, after the liquid is dispensed on the glass slab. Remember, the smallest increment, the first increment is used inside the, is sifted into the liquid, and it is manipulated over a large surface area because it's an exothermic reaction, so a cool glass slab is required. So a lot of heat can be dissipated over a wide surface area. The second increment and the third increment will require bigger increments, and then subsequently followed by smaller increments. The most important thing to remember is each increment is mixed for minimum 10 to 15 seconds. Okay. So frozen glass slab technique, very commonly asked question, frozen glass slab technique. So either the glass slab is frozen or kept in a freezer or kept in the refrigerator, and as soon as it is taken out, no steps are taken to remove the water that gets condensed over the glass slab after removal and keeping it in the ambient air. So whatever water that gets accumulated, that's made a part of the cement. Now that is done mainly to increase the working time of the zinc phosphate cement. This is how it looks like, mixing time in seconds. And see the string test. So how do you test whether this string test is a test which is a test used for as a standardized test to know whether the consistency is good for use as a luting cement or not. This same string test applies for any luting cement, be it glass ionomer or zinc phosphate cement. So remember that. So this is how the string looks like. Whenever you raise the spatula above the glass slab, a small string of cement sticks between both the spatula and the cool glass slab. Now this is a very important prerequisite before you coat the crown or the prosthesis with zinc phosphate cement. This is called the string test for luting cement. Biological properties, as I had mentioned before, that the zinc phosphate is an extremely acidic cement. So the initial pH is around 4.2, and in a day's time it reaches approximately to 6. So it's very, very acidic. So again, I'd like to reiterate that varnishes are used to cover all the walls and the pulpal floor of the cavity, and then zinc phosphate is applied. The pH slowly increases and it approaches neutrality in not 24 hours but approximately 48 hours. So we have to prevent the pulp from any acid attack in the first few hours. So applications, as I told you, very commonly used for luting of crowns and prostheses, like inlays, metal inlays, which are very commonly used, or gold inlays or onlays, and luting of orthodontic brackets, and as a temporary restorative material. The questions that are very commonly asked include the uses of zinc phosphate cement. It's a very common Viva question, the frozen glass slab technique, and a very common question in the multiple choice questions is the powder liquid ratio of zinc phosphate cement. Thank you.